things going on there. And for the teams that weren't allowed to get themselves into a position early, you saw, I mean, Besiktas, they're a good fighting team, but they only had one guy alive in the end of those things, right? Trying to fight in the open is so difficult. So kudos to Reciprocity in making it all the way through. But now game number 2 of the day, 18 overall, has kicked off. And will we see any changes? Seems like we won't. Maxiso and Erangel, despite them not really having the best showing in the previous game, other than that crazy push, seems like they'll be going back up to Sargi.
Yeah, they want to sit there, right? They don't want to have to go for the kind of long rotation to Milta if needed, where they were dropping last time around. And that's just where they're thinking, all right, look, we could do it off this plane, but we want to play it differently. We want to change things up a little bit. We want to keep it on a consistent way through the circle. One
person that I think went to the bathroom before this game started and has just made his way back is Jupsik. Because his entire team is in Severny, and he is landing with Desperado. Gotta think to yourself, something was not that well coordinated in him trying to jump out of the plane right there. Seems like he will be safe, but this is the thing, right? All of Desperado now knows, if Calvin has given the info, there's a guy in our area of looting. What do you do here? Deal with that and let him be? Or do you say, get a gun quickly, 3 guys, pull up on him, get that kill? Because not only is it an important kill, but you can also really butcher another team's rotation plans. So now game number 2, well, why don't we just go back to exactly where we were last game?
Yeah, this is almost identical, right? Difference is Primorsk is not going to be straight away in that circle, so we've gone a little bit more towards the center. Yeah. But very much similar to what we saw on match 1. So who is this going to benefit once again?
To me, like Sargi boys in this aspect of Erangel will have themselves a pretty good rotation. We saw some fights happening down by Cube, down by that sort of river area, accessing the southern part of this, or the more center part, I guess you can say, of the island. We saw 3 teams, I believe it was, fighting around there. We saw all of Sweaty Nerds in the area. We saw a Quick Math lose a player in the terrain or in the area down there as well. So we'll have to see. People gonna sort of say, oh, well, that didn't work. Let's never do that again. Or are they going to say, well, they did it last game. Why would they want to do it one more time?
Exactly that, right? Do you become the predictable team, or do you continue to try and work a little bit of a different advantage to play from here? And that's where the mind games come into it.
Got to poker face your way through the entire tournament. Never be predictable.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if there was a rotation and that like 3 teams just kept swapping spots every game, so nobody would know who was where.
You'd be like, why are they here? Oh my god, they're on top of me. Why is there another team following? Like, what is this?
What is going on? Welcome to public games. No, but nonetheless, Besiktas, we talked about them just before. They had full control up until, well, the last 3-4 circles when they had to when they were forced out. There were just so many teams up on that hill, and we saw them push on out, engage in the fight. But we talked about it ourselves as well. That first team to engage, the reason why you had so many players alive on that hill and nobody was fighting was because they knew how many players there were. Nobody wanted to be the aggressor. And then I guess Besiktas just took kind of the big brother role and said, you know what, guys, if you ain't gonna do it, we're gonna do it. Threw some nades, started running, and all hell just broke loose.
And you got to say it's Simsy again with the grenades, right? He is like becoming known for the grenades throughout contenders here.
Simsy and Tomil, they know what they're doing once they have those frag grenades in hand. That was, I don't know, that sentence ended there.
No, it definitely felt like you were going to go somewhere else. I was like, what are we doing? Where are we going?
I thought so. I was almost like, no, there was no more to say.
Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes less is more.
That is very true indeed. And that doesn't make any sense either. But now, Reciprocity, winners of last game. That's one good game. Can they repeat it? Can they do something? They were allowed to hold that 2-2 split for a while. Sure, they deserved it. They earned it in the sense that they pushed out Erangel when they were forced to fight forward, but they got it. Nobody contested them until late, and it's, I want to say, a vulnerable position, because if 4 guys instead of 3 or 2 push up on that shack, it all of a sudden becomes a very different ball game. So fortunate, and well, congratulations on landing those shots needed, but if you go for the same type of area, not sure the outcome will be the same.
And this is the thing for me as well, especially, that I want to see where, okay, Reciprocity, you made a very good run just then, but I don't necessarily need to see him get another win, but I want to see now more yes, we're always seeing you in the top 6. We're always seeing you in the top 8, the top, like, you've got to be above that and then around it. And also a bit of a fight going on. Venconus, they're starting to bring the pain onto the kebabs, and that looks like exactly what they're going to be doing. More damage being done here. Sheesh is too far away to try and come into it. He's trying to work his way around. He's definitely inside the house still, but is he making enough noise for Amorous to try and push in and make it work? Now, Amorous still has one of his teammates up and ready, who isn't going to be knocked just yet, but Sheesh might go in for the finish. Might upset this completely for him, at least look for potential to take this as a win. MFS working his way around the house as well, and this is where it turns into a crazy 1v1 duel. Amorous, what can you get done? Test is starting to come up on it, but is Test going to be in time? He needs to start to push up forward, and he might just be able to finish off MSS at least.
She's now that they only have gotten 2 kills down so far. All his teammates have been knocked. There's still one player on the ground outside the house, but this is all, I mean, this is the difference in what we saw before. Very calculated, thought-out fight. This was just chaos. I mean, utter chaos, and she's now being by himself. Well, either you go for that res right now, or you use your friend to get info, because him just being prone down in the back won't help you at all. Spots around the corner, a nice crouch down. Doesn't allow for him to get the angle on towards him. His teammate will get finished off, I believe. But very, very well played right there by Cheese.
He's twitching. That was a painful kill. He's struggling with it. Was that fight isn't quite over yet, but we're going to have a look. Well, it is over now. The kebabs get eliminated. Test comes through, and he will be able to pick up his teammate as well. Potentially his teammate's still up there, or is it just... No, it's just Test alone.
It's Test all by himself. And when everything considered, Ambrose had himself a good 1v2 out there in the open. Oh, there you go. Almost QuickMath losing a player early on again. Snoopy, this time around, is the one to come in and do the shots. And this is also a thing for them, right? QuickMath, they have not had a team looting Sarky so far. There's not been any sort of contesting in these rotations. They've had games where they rotated down early. They took out Siphon as they were trying to sort of just seeing if they could pick off anyone. But they have not been used to having a team in Sarky. Now, both these planes having come from over Sarky, it's on them to not spot a team landing up there.
And this is what makes me laugh, right, is that QuickMath were in that comfort zone. Over and over again. They just went, okay, cool, we'll just go down south. And they had so much control in that rotation. Now, you've not just got sweaty nerds there, you've also got Avangard. And that's not what you want, right? That's, that is scary. That is scary.
If there's any team in this lobby that will not allow for you to rotate through them, that's going to be Avangard. If they see something, they will start shooting at it. That is almost true 99% of the time. Now, for Giganten, they got something going their way last game. Sure, the plane was Haunt West, and they loot East. They had a rough rotation. You saw Savage sitting in that little house by himself in between Desperado players, so not exactly the dream situation for them. This time around, though, all got looted up, got themselves a vehicle each, and they're on their rotation. Only thing for them is they've been running into Desperado all week long last week. Whether it was an Erangel or whether it was in Miramar, they seem to constantly be fighting each other. This time around, well, it could go the exact same way, that being, of course, if Calvin and company listens and hears those vehicles driving south of them. But for everyone else, as you can see, rotation is the name of the game.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to come down to. Who's going to rotate correctly here before we start to get into some of these early fights? MYM going to have to be very cautious when they cross over that bridge. Is Unique going to be waiting for him one more time? It's going to be that battle of the minds. As Avangard starting to push their way up. Memo hits a rock, gets sprayed onto. Hasn't gone down just yet, but then Azvarin says, yep, give me some time, give me some chance, I'll get it done. And Snoopy's going to continue to take shots. He's going to look to try and do some more damage, and Sweaty Nerds once again heavily under pressure.
Snoopy just pulled up and said, hello, let's do this. And this is the exact same area. Not by the compound, I know, but the exact same area that these two teams were fighting in last game. So clearly, Sweaty Nerds also a team that isn't really waiting. Evan, aren't you Milta Primos? Yeah. What's going on? What are you guys doing up here?
We allowed you to have it once, and we died to you. Can you now go back so we don't have to deal with this?
It's one of those... We had a deal with QuickMath. Nobody shoots at each other, and here comes the Russians just saying, guys, who invited you to our birthday party? Well, nobody did, and Snoopy sure is. What the hell is going on? Aspirin, mid-air headshot to Siphon. There's no counterplay to that. How do you do that?
That is just what comes down to as raw individual skill with a little bit of luck added on as a good dose of that, because that's Avangard. Just pixel perfect, hitting the shots, firing away, confident with what they're doing.
And you can't even be mad if you're Siphon. I was in a vehicle, mid-air, and you headshot me. I mean, he's like, what am I supposed to do differently that could save me here?
He's like, bruh, this is why I'm retired.
Oh, that's what it is. I don't think it's because he got shot out of vehicles. Maybe, I mean, I haven't talked to him about it, but I would hope there are.
No, it's just he's fed up with his luck.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm never getting lucky in PUBG. I'm gonna retire.
It's like I'm done with this, man.
Yeah, now we see once again teams fighting. And it's going to be Desperado first time around. Looks like Tosero's kind of baiting them in. They were shooting him while driving after him. But the shots are coming in the other way as well. Zion from this time around, though. Asteroid saying, you know what? Not only did I get that knock, but I deserve to finish off as well.
BenQ and Amsa are in sights as well. Going to be another easy finish for him to get done. That's 3 kills already. And Sweaty Nerds have only got Andy left alive to try and run away. But whichever way he turns, there's another team just waiting in the wings.
See now, Besiktas getting in on the fighting here as well. Unity, they made that like sort of the transition up to this area, I believe, last game as well, kinda, and then they drove off, leaving Wizards up here in church instead. This time around, though, seems like Simsy got caught off.
Yeah, Simsy pinned down. Lux is close by. Unity gonna start to get themselves all together. They've got plenty of nades to work with as well. It's the early part of the game, which means they can try and flush some of the Besiktas players out. But it's the split here which is going to be painful for them.
Exactly. They have that 2-2 split with 2 guys in the compound. You saw Ultra over there on the right side of your screen just before. There's no help coming in if they don't get this so kind of over and done by themselves. And sure, Besiktas is a team that can get it done 2v4. But against Unity, a team that's continuously been doing better and better, it's going to be tricky. And second time around, no Sweaty Nerds saying, well, these CIS players too much for us. It's kind of repeats of last game. Same thing going with the rotations right now. Mecha Vegas playing it so safe, but Unity, they're already up at church.
Play with me. Getting this fight onto Broken, sat behind the car. Nade's going to get ready and barrel out towards him. This is going to be problematic for him to deal with, but great shots coming out from Broken, but it's just a trade in the end. And his teammates are going to have to come in and get involved. The smoke's going down already from Unique. Is going to provide that cover, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, who's going to be in a better position to take this fight? Seems like Aaliyah is going to say, well, we are, because Stanton went down, and he went down quickly. Play with me down as well. So it's all up to Ubika and Drainy if he's still up on his feet. He is, but he's miles behind, and I'm not sure that he has a vehicle to deal with here, or to sort of make his way further forward. Ubika trying to throw those nades inside the smoke. Maybe he'll get lucky. This one is close. Nope, not gonna happen.
Close, but no cigar. That's not working out for him, as Unique will try and hold on for a little bit longer, but Alia working his way around. He's going to go for the side peek onto this. As soon as them smokes start to fade, they're going to be completely exposed, and Unique's going to struggle to hold on.
Drain is still far, far out now. He's getting himself in a vehicle, needs to get over. Oh, actually, no, he's not. He's just running on back towards his compound. And, well, they realize that fight was lost. There's not a whole lot more they can do but run off. But we need a home. Sitting in yellow houses, they're trying to engage on this and play with me is in all kinds of trouble.
Now, this is where Alia needs to be careful. He's split away from the rest of his team.
Yeah.
He's gone very far forward into that compound. He needs to make sure that backup comes quick. Now, they do have the vehicles to make it happen, but you don't want him getting picked off early on.
Very correctly said right there. Play with me, tries to cross over. That ain't gonna happen. You saw, talked about Alia trying to do something on his own, and there you go. Delivers to full, to the fullest, I guess you can say.
The fullest indeed. He's come out all guns blazing. He's found himself 2 so far. The rest of his team have now grouped up with him, and Ubika is all alone down at the bottom of the house and needs to bide his time here because Drainies is not moving.
Drainies can't really do anything from where he is. Even if he had a vehicle, he could try and drive on up, but he knows, well, we haven't killed any of them, meaning 4 guys are in the compound. It's simply not going to be worth it. He's in a better position in the circle. He has a compound that's sure, it's on the edge, but there's that little chance that he could hard shift up towards him, and it's very hard to breach that area as well. Over, under, up, down, up or below, whatever you want to call the compound where Drainy is sitting. It's kind of hard to breach for other teams because you have that plateau difference in the middle of everything. So you can always kind of set yourself safe in one corner and not really have anyone push you. Ubika, though, 1v4. I mean, we've seen crazier things, but this is going to be tricky. It has to be one hell of a misplay from the guys pushing on in if he has to stay alive here.
That's it. They come out at the same time. They're not looking at him, though. Ubika given a great opportunity, but it's not going to be enough. And that was incredibly scary for the Swarm.
Had he had those shots on the 2 first guys, the other 2 players from Swarm were in no position to retaliate. Wow. They got off really, really lucky there.
Yeah, very much true.
Always check every single corner that you can. Every single thing you can check, you got to do it. I mean, honestly, that's the name of the game.
My heart was racing for him. I'm thinking, like, this is going to be going down. Ubika's going to get it done.
It's one of those where you run in and mentally you check it, but you don't check it. And then, of course, that's where you're sitting now. This time around with Rallius, trying to make the run on in. And, again, kudos to looking for a home, or looking for a team, because, well, they're for us now. So, yeah, in case you guys are confused by the different team name and logo.
I like the logo. I like the fact they've got a team now to play with. I like to see what they can get done throughout the rest of these games in Contenders, though, as Dash Tish very much under pressure. Wizards going to start to apply. Aros shooting off the cover fire. O'Connell up close and personal. Datish just going to keep prone and keep hidden down here.
And that's the thing, right? Because O'Connell is kind of the front line, and you're thinking to yourself, just run back to your teammates, but your teammates all outside the circle.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to just hold them off. He has to allow for his team to maneuver around behind him, maybe over towards Ruins, maybe further down south, and get inside the circle. He is kind of the big guy saying, stay away from our team, and allow for them to push around the corner. And it's a tough job when you have 4 guys looking towards you.
Yeah, he's causing that distraction, but he's just got to manage to stay alive as well. Now this time, quick math, they're coming all the way through. They're within the blue now, and
oh, there you go, there you go.
Okay. That's acceptable. It's acceptable. I'm not going to whine about that one, but a little bit of car flipping. We are expecting to see it, right? It's kind of become the meme of Contenders here.
You hate to see it, but it's actually kind of true. There's been a lot of car flipping and car knocks as well. Elgiganten 3-1 split. It pays off in their favor, I guess you can say. Hookstar is still inside the circle. The rest of the team members will start rotating on up, and again, similar area to what we've seen before. This time around, though, even more field than we had previously. The entire Pachinki Hill is going to be out. So open, and then a little more open is going to be this area for all these teams now trying to come in, because all the compounds are taken.
Now, quick map. They rotated all the way down from Severny, went all the way south towards Pachinki, and now working their way up north. Now, they haven't engaged in battles just yet, but they saw a player get knocked, and he will go down to the circle. We're at phase 4, a little bit too much damage happening there. 3 players will still be alive, and 1 still rotating in on a vehicle just now.
Yeah, trying to see if they can make that really safe late rotation, but it's going to be a tricky area. As we said before, there's not a whole lot to play from in here, so those vehicles might be the only cover you're going to get. Drainies, though, all kinds of trouble. These nades, they're coming in and they're being thrown ever so closer, so this could be the CIS battle of the day, and that's going to be a short one to it, because Drainies goes down, and so does Team Unique.
Avangard back on the fragging. Now put themselves almost center circle as well. They got a lot of teams to start to come through. Reciprocity just on the east of them. And then we've also got Wizards and Unity having that battle in Ruins. So there's a lot going on around Avangard to engage in third party with great potential here.
Now we have to figure, when did Encelenso and Quickmath get up on the southern side down here? Because they could spot that compound being open. I'm not sure if they saw Elgiganten rotate further over towards the west side. But, well, if they've done their scouting properly, it seems like Tuho will start driving on up now. They will have a completely clear compound up ahead of them.
And that would be a gift for sure for them to work with, right? You've done that huge rotation. You lost a player during the rotation to the circle of all things, and now you could get a compound to work from.
Also interesting to me that Besiktas haven't rotated out yet. They're still sitting outside of the circle. They know teams are up north of them. You see the entirety of Desperados chilling up here, just waiting for that circle to come ever so closer. But seems like they're deciding to push out on foot, and that's going to be dangerous, because should that next circle shift even further west, huge open field and nothing for cover. Now, though, for us, big challenge for them coming up here. Of course, they have themselves a new name, and there's a big pressure to put on you as well. You want to come off. I mean, this is their first competitive games they're playing under that name. So you want to start off, you want to make sure that those contracts weren't signed in vain.
Now Laza, he's going to eat a nade straight away, so Besiktas do start to move forward, and they want to get themselves inside the circle. As we look at Unity firing off onto Avangard, and they will get the knock onto Maxizor. Anything else they can get done here is going to be great, as Wizards are just around them. This is where the third party comes into play. This is what we expected Avangard to do. Orange Snow looking to chime in as well. Aros not even looking, not a care in the world, and his teammates don't jump to try and protect him. How are they allowing this to go down? O'Connell finally starts to fire off, but it's a little bit too late, mate.
Reaction plays coming in much too late. T-Bone had the up-ground position. Nobody was looking over there at all. And Orange Snow was allowed to just push up on foot, sprinting his way forward and do all the damage he wanted. Very, very careless from Wizards there, but hopefully they can make up for it. They lost Dice, so they lost T-Bone. Now O'Connell, all that's left, and seems like Chizerin has a pretty good idea where he is. Gets up on his feet now, and down goes Wizards.
Avangard still taking shots, though. Snoopy's looking to secure this third party. Now, everyone is still alive from Unity, but now they've got to come through. And Avangard are all around them. And Desperados, they're going to be taking knocks from Reciprocity as this circle goes a little bit further west.
A little bit further west, and then some more. Could not go any further west. And for a team that's pretty fair, happy with this situation, I guess some Meteor Makers, they're sitting miles out there. They came out of the military side of things, and I don't think they really had to fight anyone yet, but they might just be forced to now, should some of these teams decide to rotate on over. And for Besiktas, they're probably thinking, well, wait, did we leave the vehicles inside the compound in the blue? Because they probably need them now.
Unactive taking some damage, but Asverin able to hold strong, at least for now. Spray's coming onto him. Tizerin knows exactly where he is, does get the knock, but can't get the finish just yet. Needs to be cautious. He's looking around it. The tree is down for cover, and it's all up to Snoopy on Avangard to deliver here. So they've had 6 kills already. Maxazor's also up. He's just been picked up as it be. But are they going to be able to hold on and get these kills? More nades coming out. Orange Snow just trying to work his way over towards his teammates. And he's just, ever so close. Dashtish comes in to try and help. Asverin's been taken off by Blaston. Is this going to be Avangard going down semi-early once again, despite having a lot of kills in play? Unactive trying to get that vehicle into a good position. Blaston providing heavy fire. But look at the compound positioning. And that is absolutely huge. Blaston not missing a shot, not missing a beat, and still applying the pressure.
This is all the help that Unactive needed, that has just been paused by Snoopy, trying to been forced to spend his time getting back up Max's on. All the shots being fired once again, but they're still not safe here. These guys are fighting for dead ground. This is all in the blue in just a couple of seconds from now. Unactive goes down. Now Max is all forced out of the building with Snoopy pushing on in. This is very well played by Unity, but they're not in just yet.
Avangard holding on. Blaston, he gets completely destroyed. He wasn't ready for them to both jump into him. And now Avangard jumps straight into a vehicle. They've got themselves 10 kills, 2 players left alive, and they love these high kill games.
And this is what we saw in the beginning of the last week's game. A lot of kills, but never in the top in placement. That allowed for some of the other teams to get on over.
Look at this now.
Hexetti trying to drive. Well, that goes one. Hexetti, all that. No, Max saw all that's remaining. We're very quick to swap seats, but look at his position. We just talked about this. If you're not in already, that vehicle might be the only cover you're gonna get now. As the vehicle jumps on out just in time, but it's driving ever continuously further forward. And Max is so in all kinds of trouble. Might just be fortunate that teams have to look elsewhere, because if not, he would be dead by now.
And this is right in the open, right? This is not what he wants to be in. He's sat there going, great, I've lost my teammate. We had a high kills to start off with, but now I'm pinned down. The moment I make a move, everyone's going to look at me and light me up like a Christmas tree.
Not a whole lot he could do from that position other than hope that circles will go towards him, and we will know whether they will or not in just about a matter of seconds. Well, he's in. He's far out,
take that.
but he's in. And I guess the good thing you can say about this is with the northern side of the circle excluded, you won't have anyone to really spot you. You'll, from now on, nobody will have the position where they can look down on you, and that's where it becomes really tricky to play sort of that proning game in the open. Scoom driving backwards with this buggy. Not what you want to have happen, but, well, I mean, desperate times. We call for desperate measures.
And he is completely pinned down. Elgig from their compound just trying to put it to work. Firing off shots consistently here. Hucksters managed to get knocked down by Flowey though, which means that NYM, they're still up in it, right? And they were a team that came through. It looked like the circle wasn't going to benefit them, and now it's worked out perfectly.
Yeah, they aren't in the new circle just yet, and they have Quickmath to deal with as well. Quickmath's been allowed to play the kind of style that they weren't the last time around. They've tried to rotate all the way down underneath to the southern side. We saw them do that when they rotated around Pachinki earlier, and they have gotten themselves a lot of room to work with. Now the question is going to be, how will they play with, I would assume, to see Meteor Makers pushing in towards them. 3 against 4, it's going to be tricky, because we saw that AWM in the hand of Flowey. And if Finkwin has a VSS as well, it's going to be a difficult matchup to line up against, because they've been delivering and hitting those shots all day.
It's all going to come down to position. We're in our top 8 teams remaining. Very interesting positions being played out here as well. It's only We Need a Home who have got compound coverage. Elgi going to push in just a little bit forward to grab their new ones, and that will see them just inside the circle. Quickmath being tagged up a bit here, but they're also able to engage onto MYM. Venkona's still up and in it. And this is we have not seen from them. This is such a better display from this team overall. They will get eliminated in 8th, but that's 2 placements within the top 8 now in both games so far. This is unheard of from what we saw in week 1.
Yep, very good upgrade. They were in an unfortunate situation, as you can say, early on against Kebabs, but they managed to get themselves in placement points, at least more than what we've seen them do earlier. Lipson now with an M16 trying to tap away at Meteor Makers, and they're seeming like they wanted to get onto that rotation real soon, because that circle is breathing down their neck.
Scoom and Shiv getting knocked there by Elgig and MYM. That means they're really caught in the middle here. Are they going to be able to stay alive? Hank said he needs to try and drop a smoke down if he can to try and save his teammate, but it's not going to happen. He jumps up, he blows up the car, but it's not going to be enough, and Reciprocity all go down. They get more than third party. They get every single team straight onto them as they were very much out in the open.
Yeah, not a whole lot more you could do there, unfortunately. We did talk about it just before. Those vehicles, the only cover you're going to get, and if you only have buggies and bikes, they can be good for rotations, but they do not grant you a whole hell of a lot of cover in the final couple of circles. Well, at any point, really, do they grant you cover.
Max Azor still up at the north. Hasn't had to move just yet, and it's not the furthest away it could go. There's still a chance. He can crawl into there. He's got some time to work with.
And the thing is as well, never mind. I was just going to say, the only team that was shooting at him earlier was Reciprocity, but I guess we need a home. They just stop talking, Toby. We know where he is, and there you go, down he goes.
We need a home. They're looking strong so far. This circle has worked out for him in every scenario. It's the other teams now that will have to push up on into them. The Swarm, though, are going to get 2 crates near them.
We need a home, though. What I want to see them do now is change their priority. You have to figure, are we going to get pushed from the field? That's 90% of the circle. Or do we now have to put our focus on what's happening behind us? PEL, Smash Bay, they need to do, what, 180? We have heard shots fired from behind. We've heard all these people in engagements. This is where our focus has to be. This has to be the priority right now.
Now MYM begin to make their push up. Firing off some nades to at least keep them at bay, right? This is more the distraction play coming in. High utility usage coming into it. Smash Bay tagging up Savage so heavily, but can't get the knock onto him. As Derek, he gets the nades out himself, and he says, all right, MYM, anything you can do, I can do better. Have some of this.
Yep, there you go. Good job by them, but there's still tons and more players to be dealt with. Rita caught off in the open. Oh, a lot of help, though, coming in. It's going to be 2-0. I was like, you know what, I'll just engage on this as Micha Makers do the exact same thing. Fortunate somehow Rita stays alive. There's still 3 guys up, make that 2 guys. Bloodrook down to low HP now as well.
This is a true war going on. The grenades consistently being used here. All the teams have already started to swarm the compound before the circles even come in. Everyone wants to engage in this. They all want the kills across the board. Alia from the Swarm continuing to get it done. Broken's in there as well. That's 5 kills up for the Swarm. It's a good game so far from them.
And look at this. Had Maxis all still been alive up north, we got the entirety of the remaining players up. 10 players sitting in only the bottom part of the circle. Nobody wants to be in the open, but honestly at this point, send one guy out there into a bush and prone and let the other guy see if they can fight it off, because odds are you will get yourself into a guaranteed top 2 position, at least if you're a Swarm sitting up on the northern side.
Circle starts to come in. Quick math, just on the edge of it. We need a home, got all the cover they need, but it's going to come down to their teamwork and how they approach this, because they've gone from having 4 players left alive to now only 2, and they've had this compound for the longest time. That's because everyone started to engage them at the same time. It's going to be now as who decides to push into this compound, and are they just going to wait for him to come out? The team this benefits most so far is the Swarm. They're just on the outside, but as soon as the first firefight begins to happen, everyone is going to come into the charge.
And furthermore, circles just shifted out of this exact compound, so all these players will have to make their way on out, and this is Swarm's game to win. They're in a position now when they can do everything to get this win, and they will have, well, I mean, we can put it this way, everything's lined up for them, the cards are all on the table, now it's just up to them to show us what they got.
2-0. He's having a good look around. He's just waiting patiently. He wants Polideric to push out, but it isn't going to happen. It's Alia again. He's come up top trumps this game, kill after kill coming into it. Now, I love this in Polideric. Go back up your teammate now. Try and remove around a little bit. Be careful, though, because you're going to get caught. Gets heavily tagged up here. Tries to hide a little bit in the smoke and just about manages to stay alive.
That bike almost got him killed. Thought he could run around behind it, but he got blocked off by it. Now, fortunately, able to stay put for a little while, but shots are continuously being fired in, and they're doing everything they can, Swarm, to contain them inside the compound. So smart playing, because they constantly have one guy aware of Ilk again. And as I say that, though, they aren't ready for this push. Deeks coming up on over the top. One more going down, but Drone Spotter in the return getting himself a knock.
5 kills up for We Need a Home. Everyone's engaging at the same time. This is where it's all going to go down. Elgig up with just Savage left alive. 3 players up on the Swarm. 1 player for We Need a Home, and Polideric's gone down. We Need a Home. They are completely out of it, and Savage you've got a really difficult job to do, my son. You've got 3 players left on the swarm and you're all alone. You've got the smoke for a bit of cover. You're healing yourself back up, but they know where you are. They know as soon as you start to make a move, they're all going to jump straight on top of you. This has been a very smart game from the swarm.
Indeed, it has. Savage, single-handed guy. Up against 2, not impossible, not at all, not by any means, but it's going to be a tricky one to win, and it's going to be up. It's going to be, I guess you can say, Swarm's game to lose. Drone spotted, does get spotted. Oh, Savage wish he connected more shots. He does get that one guy, but 15 HP is all he has. He won't have time to get those meds up running. Trying to call back down, use that smoke for cover, and Broken just has to continue shoot. You have to continue shooting. The info has to be given that he's down to low HP. This should not be allowed.
If Savage gets this would be a huge win for his team. It should have never been allowed. He gets in there, he sprays him down. Savage, he gets it done.
Wow.
A misplay from the swarm after a huge kill game from the team.
They had everything